Well, after recording that video, I realized that my mic is making a really weird noise, and I don't know why, and I don't have another mic. So sorry for the kind of loud, high-pitched squeaking, like sound. I mean, you can hear it. You know what it sounds like. Sorry about that. I'll have that fixed by next time. But I don't really have time to figure out what it is that is causing that tonight, since class is tomorrow. But anyway, so just sorry. Anyway, in this video, what we're gonna do is we're gonna use some shapes that come with the software that you can use to digitize and make little things that you can cut out, little shapes that can be cut out. You can make strips so that you don't have to cut them yourself, basically, or all kinds of little shapes that it comes with, rather than having to draw your own shapes in. Basically, there's a bunch of them that are built in that make cutting your own shapes out really easy. So I'm gonna jump right in. We're gonna go and open Creative Drawing 6. Make sure you have your dongle plugged in, otherwise it'll say CBU failure. And we're gonna create a new design. The fabric doesn't matter for this. We're not even gonna be sewing anything out with this. We're gonna choose, this time we're gonna choose from file instead of from embroidery, and while it's really nice of them to include these sample shapes, they did put them in a really stupid place. I don't know why they put them in this directory. C drive, users, public, documents, creative drawing samples, cutting samples, vector design, this whole long process to get to these, but I'll show you exactly how to get to it. So we're going to go from file, and then we hit the dot dot dot, and the path is C drive, users, public documents, creative drawing samples, cutting samples, vector designs. So here we go. C drive, so you go and navigate to your local disk C, go to users, go to public instead of your username, go to public documents, creative drawing samples, cutting samples, and vector designs SVG. Don't look at me. You know, I didn't make the software. I certainly wouldn't have put it there. But anyway, we've got all these different shapes that this comes with, and the names of them tell you the size that they are. So like this one, this trapezium, are 5.5 inches. Apple core, this is 3 inches. So it's a lot of like quilting shapes. And what these are for is for cutting out shapes that you're going to use. So what we're going to do today is this parallelogram, and of course it's one that doesn't show you the size, but that's okay. We're going to set the size ourselves. So we're going to do this parallelogram, and down here it shows you like what you're supposed to do with it. So what we're going to use this for is to cut out a number of the shapes, and then we could use them in a quilting design, you know, to sew them together, like this little star down here. I don't know what it's actually called. Okay, but here it's telling me that this is 7.73 wide by 7.53 tall, but we can adjust it to fit whatever hoop we happen to be using, or whatever size we want it to be. Anyway, we're just going to open it. So we click on that and hit open. And where it says hoop, we're going to choose, it really doesn't matter that much, as long as it's, we're going to do generic 7.87 by 7.877. That's the 8 by 8 hoop on an Elissimo. If you don't have that, 130 by 180 is 5 by 7. Oh, you know what? Oh, these are in inches. Oh, that's convenient. I just noticed that. But 180 by 130 is 5 by 7. It drives me nuts that they don't have Baby Lock branded hoop names in here. But that's because this isn't a Baby Lock product. So that's why it doesn't have it. But anyway, we're going to do generic 7.87 by 7.87, and that's the 8 by 8 hoop on an Elissimo. Anyway, so we're going to hit next and just hit finish here. Now, it has this little doohickey digitized for you already, but we're not going to use this. I think this is really just like a preview to show you what you can make with this shape. I'm going to go ahead and click and drag a box around it. Just left click out here, hold the mouse button down, and drag a box around it, and then press on your keyboard, press the delete key. So we're not actually going to use that. But okay, so we're going to select our parallelogram here, and what we can do is go in and set what size we want it to be. If you look up in your tool options here, it gives you the ability to adjust your width and your height. So say I want it to be, I want from here to here, the height of it to be, say 3 inches instead of 3.5 inches. I just highlight the height number and then type in the number that I want it to be. In this case, I'm going to do 3, and just hit enter, and it sizes it down for me. You can make it whatever size you want when you're actually making it to cut out your fabric for a quilt or whatever you're doing. But okay, so I've got my parallelogram shape, and now what we have to do is do that auto border thing where it's going to put a running stitch to the outside of this. This design is already a running stitch. So if I saved this and went to sew it out, it would just make a running stitch parallelogram. But what we need to do is convert this running stitch, that's the right size that I want my fabric to be cut, we're going to convert that to a cut, and then we need to have the outer border that is going to hold the fabric tight so that it makes a nice clean cut for my fabric. So what we're going to do is choose the auto border button, which if I look on my toolbar on the left hand side here, it's the second from the last thing. It says auto border when you hover your mouse over it. Left click on that one time. You're going to choose under position to the outside, make it 1 millimeter, 1 repeat, don't worry about remove holes, and set it to running for the type. Okay, so that's to the outside, 1 millimeter, 1 repeat, remove holes doesn't matter, and running, and hit OK. Okay, so now we've got our 2 running stitches. Zoom in a little bit, you can see them both, there they are. And now we're ready to go to the editor. We just go up to File, Export to Editor. To bring it up in the editor. Okay, so we've got our whole design is number 0, and then 1, this is both of our things that we digitized, the inside and the outside. What we have to do is break these apart, and the way you do that is you make sure that they're selected, you go into the design area, which is where the design is, you right click and choose break apart. Okay, now we've got this little plus sign next to our design here in the sequence view. You have to hit that plus sign, so left click on the plus sign, and then we've got 1 and 2 that are under it now. 1 is the outside part, 2 is the inside part. So the inside part is the one that we want to convert to a cut, so we make sure that the inside one is highlighted in green. That's what means that it's selected. So if you look on here, this one's green, look on here, the inside one's green. The inside one needs to be green. Right click on it, change to veneer. Or if you have an unupdated software, it'll say veneer cut. Change to veneer. And that's it. It did it. So now it's cut. And I have actually found, since I made the last video, that you can just select this last bit here, the one that has the needle up and the scissor on it, and just go ahead and hit the delete key. And that takes care of the fact that it wants to go and make a single stitch down there. I don't know why it does that. I can't find any satisfactory explanation anywhere on why it's doing that, but it seems to do it automatically when you bring it in to the Wings program. I don't know. I'm not like an expert on using this Wings thing. Not yet anyway. So at any rate, this is done. We can save it and actually use it and bring it up in our embroidery machine, and it'll tell me the colors, even though it doesn't show me that it's doing that in this program. Once you hit that veneer button, it does it. You bring it up on your sewing machine, and it's going to tell you to use, the red cutting needle, the blue cutting needle, the green cutting needle, the black cutting needle in the right order. And when you're done, you'll have a perfectly cut out parallelogram. And you can do, I've done 10 layers at once, and had it work fine. So you could cut out 10 of these at a time, basically, with those cutting needles. So that's pretty neat. then that'll work the same way pretty much with all of those built-in outline files that came with the program. I know they're tough to get to because they're in that crazy directory, but hey, once you get to them, then you can use any of those and cut them out. So, you know, you can make nice long strips. Like if you have to cut a whole ton of strips for a quilt, if you can make it so it'll cut out, you know, 50 strips in a single hooping, that could potentially save you a lot of time. So that's pretty neat. Anyway, that's the end of this video. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.